And then we went into another title match straight after. So it was all good. Like they sort of were pumping out the big matches one after the other, and that was the Raw Women's Championship bout between the Queen Charlotte Flair, the current champ, and Alexa Bliss, who had Lilly with her. I actually, again, quite liked this. It had a reasonable build-up, as much as you can sort of do with that whole doll character and whatever, you know. But Flair is just a sensational performer, irrespective of what people say, and, you know, she got there because of her name and all that. You're still going to be able to perform. And I think she's bloody good. And Alexa Bliss is extremely talented.
I'll go as far as saying Charlotte Flair is probably the best female on the planet today. Best female worker, possibly one of the best workers on the planet today. I'll go that far.
Okay. Well,
and I'll explain why. Right. One, athletic, right? Her size, her look.
Yeah.
Right? Her speed, agility. She understands how to work. Her timing is almost impeccable on selling, you know, on when to cut somebody off, when to not cut somebody off. She listens to the crowd, right? I don't know too many guys that are doing that right now.
No, true. Look, I think she's the consummate professional. I mean, she's growing up with arguably, yeah, the best wrestler in the world as her dad or whatever, and, you know, been in the industry your whole life. And when you're born into it, like a Randy Orton or someone like that, you know, it's born into the business like that, you do have a better understanding. I mean, we've seen it with some of our guys, you know, that are second generation or whatever. They just have a different take on it all. But I am a great fan of hers. I think she's really, really good.
Everything she does.
Yeah.
Almost everything she does.
The way she comes out, the way she makes the refs open the ropes for her, the gown, and as you said, you know, tall adds a bit to it. I mean, I know, but it's just the look, the package.
Also, too, coming off the top rope with a backflip and landing on her feet.
Yeah.
And then she can display strength movement. She can display, and also the things I like about her is her timing. Pin doesn't work. The look on the face, the way she sells.
Yeah.
It's a big package that she provides for people. I mean, Alexa Bliss, brilliant. I think that she's a great worker, but she's not on Flair's level. I don't think there is a female in that company that is on Flair's level.
Probably not. Probably not. But you know, Bliss, given that she's only really come back to starting to work again recently, I thought that there was a really, really good match. You know, Bliss showed that she had a lot of skill. She didn't really do too much in the mind games. It was actually a good actual wrestling match as such.
Yeah, it was a great match. I mean, I thought, I'd say at that point it was match of the night.
Yeah, and a lot of false finishes. That Bliss's sunset bomb was so well executed. That was a really, really good sunset bomb. I thought they were well matched up. Really, really liked it. Liked the part at the end where, Flair retains with the natural selection, but then how she absolutely dismantles Lilly and rips her apart, and the whole.
I like that idea because she maintains being a heel, because technically, really, Bliss was a heel.
Yeah.
Turned her face.
Yeah. And I think what's going to happen, and just putting on my Nostradamus hat, I think you might find that Bliss might come back as just herself now.
Yeah, and she was great as herself before.
Oh, yeah.
She didn't need the Fiend. I don't understand why they went down the Fiend path. I just don't understand why they did that.
Apparently she was really, really keen to get involved in that whole storyline, and then obviously they released the Fiend, and she sort of kept going. And
look, look, I'll say this now. It's a bit like New Day. I like every athlete that New Day, as far as Xavier Woods, Kofi Kingston, Big E as athletes are great, but with all that friggin' unicorn crap and shit like that, I don't like it.
No.
And it's a bit same with the Fiend and Alexa Bliss. with all that crap they put on there, that these are talented wrestlers. You don't make it to that point in the business if you're not talented. So why put that shit on them for? I don't understand that. That's just, you know what I hate about WWE the most? Is the writing, not the talent.
Oh, no, but we've said, how many times have we said on all our programs, they've got everything. They've got the worldwide reach. They've got the infrastructure. They can do everything under the sun you could possibly hope for. But the only thing that lets them down is the writing and what sort of produces the final package.
That's why Vince just needs to get to the back of the bus and let somebody run the joint.
Yeah,
because I tell you now. And what do you reckon, Anthony? Hogging up all the time.
This was a good match. I'm not taking anything away from the match. This was really well done. Now before I wrote down my rating, I had this as a 6.
I had it as a 7, so okay, but this is good for you now, 4.5 up to 6.
The reason why I dropped it from a 6 to a 5 was the dismantling of the Lilly character, the Lilly Doll.
Really?
It was too long.
The Alka-Seltzer tablet.
Jesus!
Don't have enough spit to get it.
Don't get me started on that. Don't get me started on that.
I was going to get to that, but okay, good work.
But because the problem with it is that you've had such a good match, and you've dedicated X amount of time to dismantling of this doll, which surprised me that they got rid of it so early. Considering, because I had little girls. You saw on all forms of social media, there was little girls with it. You know, it was over with the little girls. But
you want your daughter having a doll like that? That looked real freaky.
Wouldn't be able to sleep at night if I knew that was in the room next to me.
Yeah, but it was over.
I dated someone that looked like the live version once, but that's another story.
But yeah, that's what it was. When you've dedicated, I think it was a good maybe 10 minutes after the match.
Oh. But I think it was getting the heel character over, and I think more so it might have been ending that Bliss character.
I didn't mind the doll being torn up.
No, I didn't at all.
What I didn't like was the yelling and the screaming at the end of it. What I termed to be a Jim Cornette term of afterbirth at the end of the show, right? Was the Alka-Seltzer tablet and the yelling and the screaming and the fans that were trying to cheer her up, and she's yelling and screaming at him. And I think they didn't accept. I don't think they expected that reaction from the crowd. And she's still trying to work to a plan that they've talked to out the back. You pretty much screwed it up. Right?
Well, once you know yourself, once you're out there, if something goes haywire,
you just got to work with the crowd. Either way, and I think that this is another problem with modern wrestling in general. Let's from top to bottom, whether you're working indies here in Australia or you're working WWE, they all set to a script now. And I have to maintain on that script. And when I got into business, and definitely when you got into business, Pete, it was what the crowd dictated is what happened.
Yeah.
There was even times in matches, which I did myself. I'm listening to the crowd. I think if I go over here, no one's going to care. Yes. So I put the other guy over, and the promoter goes to you, "What have you done when you got out the back?" Well, mate, it wasn't going to work for you. I'm doing you a favour.
Yeah.
They don't do that. They don't think outside the box. They run.
In that particular environment over there,
that's right.
You wouldn't dare.
No. But what I'm saying is they just work instead of going out and saying, "All right, well, this is not working with the doll," and yelling and screaming, going another angle. Then go out the back when they said, "Why'd you go that way?" Well, I went that way because the crowd was not reacting to it. They just follow the line.
Yeah.
Whether it's good or bad, even in promos, follow the line. This is the promo. This is the beginning. This is the end. I'm not going to divert left or right. And sometimes when you're dealing with live people, you sometimes have to divert left and right to get it to work.
Yeah.
Sometimes you have to go away from the storyline and come back to it to piss them off enough as a heel, to bring them back to where you want to go. They don't think. None of them are trained like that. They don't think outside. This is a whole generation of wrestlers. I'm not going to pick one particular person.
No.
It's a whole generational thing. You know, like if you look at the guys from the 80s and 90s, you know, and that's who I was trained by, somebody from the 80s and 90s. Earlier, George was earlier. George went back to the early 80s, right? Yeah, and Mario, first thing I tell you is, you know, listen to the crowd. You know, like that. They used to always say that to you. Now it's like, this is the line, this is the story, this is what it is. This is what we're going to do. We don't care. We're going to tell the crowd what they want, not what the crowd tells us what they want.
Well, and particularly, as you know, every crowd can be different. How many times have we said, gee, what a dead crowd, or what a really hot crowd, or, you know, it depends too where you are, what the crowd's like on the night. I mean,
I like dead crowds, and I'll tell you why. Because especially working as a heel, you poke them with the stick. If I can get a reaction out that crowd, it's a personal challenge now.
Yeah.
And that's when you'll find some of my matches become less. Watch any of the matches I'm back on video. They become less action orientated and more antagonizing to the crowd orientated, and doing really cruel and stupid stuff to the face, and then taking ridiculous bumps to get them over. Because I'm just working towards the crowd. Any match I used to do was I was working towards the crowd. I don't care what storyline was supposed to be. I need a reaction from that crowd. So I think when you just work the storyline and the crowd ain't getting into it, and we're getting right off topic here, but just for this point of the afterbirth at the end of this show, of this match, well, she should have looked at it and gone, okay, this is not working. How do I, you know, if she maybe grabbed the doll and asked the audience for help, can somebody put it together? Is there a doll doctor in the house, please? Instead of yelling, I mean, there's options, but you have to think on your feet. And that's the problem with a lot of wrestlers that they don't think on their feet. It's a set script. That's how it is. Bang, 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 bang.
Yeah.